I have two bunches. That's right. I've got two bunches of brushes that I'm going to put into this category for week one. The brush fails, I regret buying category. Hi, I'm Michelle. Today I'm going to share my Fude Awards week one, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll get into that in just a moment. But for week one of Fude Awards, the prompt is, I had to check my phone. Brushes I regret buying. No, brushes I regret adding to my collection. Okay, so that's the prompt for this week. Let's talk a little bit about what Fude Awards is for just a moment. And just in case you're new here, hi, I'm Michelle. I like to post a lot of makeup content, sometimes some nail polish too, but I love makeup brushes, especially Fude brushes. And this year I decided to participate in the annual Fude Awards, which happens on Instagram. I don't know if anybody does any YouTube videos for their submission, but I'm gonna do it. Yeah, so I thought that this would be really helpful, just maybe as a reference for me in the future, my different entries for the different Fude Awards. So I just read to you week one, just in case you want to participate and you want to either post on YouTube or on Instagram. Let me read to you the next 5 prompts for the whole category of awards. Week 2 is favorite brand or manufacturer. Week 3 is brushes that never leave my vanity, meaning you use them all the time. You don't ever take them out of rotation. Week 4 is best multitasking. Week 5, brushes I have backups of. And week 6, favorite synthetic brushes. That's going to be a hard one right there for me because I have a lot of them. Let me go ahead and get into my brush submissions for week 1, which is brushes I regret adding to my collection. I could have taken this several different ways. I could have answered this one by looking at the brushes that I have yet to use, but I spent a lot of money on. You know, do I regret adding those to my collection? It was hard for me to say since I haven't actually used them yet. I'm still slowly working through my brush collection, getting to know my different Fude brushes, really well before I add the next one into the rotation. I decided not to go that route. If I would have gone the route of brushes that I haven't used yet, a really good submission could have been all of my Sonia G Mini Kayaki brushes. I haven't used any of these yet. They're really beautiful. I have all of the brushes that she released in this bunch. I love that they fit in the Sonia G Essentials pouch. I do have a video packing that up so you can see how they fit in there. The brushes part is towards the end of the video, just so you know, but I'll leave that down below and up here in the eye in case you want to check that out if you missed it. But I decided, I feel like one day I'm going to be glad that I have these short brushes, and because they're Sonia G, I can't regret buying them, really. You know, I think these are all shapes that I love and enjoy in the full sizes. So the only thing that has kept me from using them is the fact that they're so small, like in the short handle. They're full-size brushes on the head, but the handle is so short. They are still really easy to grasp. She's got a good handle. They're not super chintzy like some of the other small brushes. But that leads me to the brushes that I actually regret buying. Here's the first bunch. I have 2 bunches. That's right. I've got 2 bunches of brushes that I'm going to put into this category for week 1 of brushes that I regret buying. Here I've got first, I want to talk about these 2 brushes. The reason I regret buying them is obviously I haven't used them yet, but that's not really why. It's because they're really short. This is not how I do my eyeshadow. I need a longer brush. I prefer a full-size ferrule, okay? I want to be able to get back on my brush this far sometimes. And if it ends up here like that, that really changes the way that the brush is going to be controlled. So for me, I hate the size of all of these brushes. Here's another one here. This one is, I think this is like a Takeda or something. I don't know. Do you recognize that one? I'm not that well versed in keeping my names straight of all the brands yet. Here's another one from that line. And another one. And another one. And as you can see, these are just like, these look like doll-sized brushes to me. Here's another one. This is like from that coveted set that I think is like sold out, most of it. I'm not sure. It's just like Kazan or something like that. I don't really remember. Anyway, yeah, I need to at least use them. But I need to at least use them before I say for sure that I regret it before I completely say that I actually regret it and that I wish I hadn't have bought them, because I just wish they were actually bigger. I don't know if I wish I hadn't bought them yet because I haven't used them and tried to see how they perform. So I'll be working that into my collection, but I feel like I've been kind of against using them in a subconscious level just because I wish that they were longer ferrules. But let's move on to brushes that I've actually used and I regret adding to my collection. These are the brushes that are the real submissions for me. Those others are kind of like honorable mentions. Since I haven't actually used them, it's not fair to say that I regret it. So first and foremost, if you're familiar with my channel, you might already know what brushes are about to be popped up. But my biggest regret in Fude purchase so far has been all of my rougher face brushes. My rougher face brushes, all purchased at different times. They were all fresh releases from when each of these brushes came out. I highly regret purchasing all of my rougher face brushes. This right here, these are the brushes. These are the brushes here that I regret adding to my collection the most. And I mean, although Refer does have some kind of good prices for Fude brushes, it's still a lot of money that I put into these brushes, and they shed as much as my dogs shed, okay? And like, I don't appreciate that. You can see it in other people's videos, probably in a couple of my videos too, where after you use one of these face brushes, or like somebody will use one of these bigger face brushes from Refer, then all of a sudden they have these like hairs just hanging off their face while they're filming and doing the rest of the makeup. And because most people film in HD now or 4K, you can really, really see the hair hanging off their face. And it's just like, Refer, come on, get it together. Anyway, I regret my Refer face brushes completely. I love the eye brushes. I can handle those. They don't shed. Mine have never shed. I've got lots and lots of duplicates. As a matter of fact, I do have a dedicated video on my Refer brush collection. If you missed it or if you want to check it out, I'll link it up here in the eye and down below in the description box. So I won't elaborate too much further because I went into detail there, but let me share with you the newest brush in my collection to be added to the brush fails I regret buying category. This kind of pains my heart a little bit to say, but if you're not new to my channel, you might know what brush that I'm about to show you. And that is the Sonia G Sheer Buffer. I regret buying this brush. I regret adding this brush to my collection. I do like the concept. It's just, I feel like there's not enough space difference between the top layer of bristles to the thicker layer, and therefore it patches up on the high points of people's cheeks, mine and others. I saw it happen to several other YouTubers that I've seen use this. So I feel like there's a little bit of a design flaw, my humble opinion, just a little bit. It just needs to be like a slight bit longer on the synthetic layer. And the other reason that I kind of regret purchasing this brush, aside from the fact that it was really expensive, I mean, it was like $65. I only paid like $20 or $25 because I had some credits. So that helps ease the sorrow a little bit for the expense that it was to me. But the other reason that I regret adding this brush to my collection is because every time I go to use it with a cream product, mind you, where's my bronzer? I don't have it nearby, but every time that I go to use this with my Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer, it's not even really a super creamy formula. It's a little bit more of like a moussey whipped formula. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but every time that I go into my Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer pan like this, I notice that I have some of these long synthetic, notice that these synthetic bristles, I will find them in my Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer, and it sheds into the cream bronzer a lot more than when I was using my Niji Pro, which I don't recommend the Niji for a cream product. That's not what it's intended for. Anyway, yeah, so I really regret this brush and my Rever face brushes. These I've completely taken out of my collection. I only use them for decor. That's why I haven't even bothered to wash them. I'm gonna leave them dirty looking forever. But this one I have, like, I like it for powder bronzer or just for like maybe buffing out the face a little bit. Like maybe if this buffer is dirty or if you don't have it, but I do like it for powder products. Like it applies a sheer layer of powder products, and I think it works a lot better like that. But I didn't really need a brush like that because all of her other like more airy, fluffy cheek brushes do the same thing. So this is the Sonia G brush that I regret buying, and I regret buying all of my Rever face brushes. So yeah, sadly, those were my submissions for the Fluffy Fude Awards 2023. Thank you so much, Fluffy Fude, for hosting these awards, and to everybody that submitted. I'm not one of those people. I hadn't been following the Fluffy Fude Awards in the past, so I'm really new to it all, but I wanted to at least film my video and share my thoughts about the brushes that I regret buying and why. So I hope this video was helpful or entertaining for you in any kind of way. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to click the like button. It really does help my channel out so much. And make sure you're subscribed so we can hang out again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.